Hear all, see all, and say nought. Eat all, sup all, and pay nought. And if ever thou does aught for nought, do it for this then, the Yorkshireman motto. Hey up everybody, this is Will speaking to you from God's own country, the delightfully grey and wet Yorkshire. It's been a bit of a running joke this last week or so about my very strong Yorkshire accent, so I'm embracing that, and accompanying me today is my flat cap and my farmer's jacket. On top of that, I've got a nice cup of Yorkshire tea, as it's a bit early for a pint of room temperature John Smith's bitter. Anyway, after that cringeworthy intro, I'll stop trying to do my best impression of Fred Dibner and I'll start talking normally. So on this fine day, we have week 5 of the DICKWAD tournament. And in today's matchup, we have BrownTown and BWommy, two players who have been around for a while now. So should put up some good scores. The course today is Juniper Falls, which can play quite difficult, especially on the back nine. So I expect we have some twists and turns along the way today. So we've just seen both players set up with 2 torpedoes and a javelin there just going left of the hole with some GSPs. And BrownTown is just going to tap that in for the birdie. We have BWommy up next with the orbit, different approach to the hole, but equally just as good. It's going over to the right hand side. The length actually might not have been too bad. Let's roll back, no GSPs there, but still a nice little tap in after hole 1. So just to mention that BrownTown, I believe, has 1 shot advantage here due to the handicap. So he's now currently in the lead and has just played a javelin again onto the green. Fairly good approach shot, and this should be gone in for eagle, which it is. And now BWommy's turn. See what he does. He's actually going naked here, and that's not just his attire today. I think he's going to the beach after this round. And a bit more of a difficult shot. Ooh, over to the right hand side, but safely in for eagle. And after 2, we're all even, apart from that dastardly 1 shot advantage. So javelin again from BrownTown. That looked pretty close. Maybe over to the right hand side. A fairly straight putt for birdie. Let's see what BWommy does now. So going for the sniper. Going to travel with the wind, and this is actually going to be quite close. Ooh, the length not too bad. A little bit over to the right hand side, I believe. But 8,857 GSPs, so that's really positive going into hole number 4. The GSPs are in play here if there is a tie. And both players just playing up to the top of the hill, which is, I think, the typical approach on this hole. Now this shot next will be quite interesting. It's very easy to overshoot this, so BWommy going for the sniper here, but safely on, and a safe putt for eagle. Now BrownTown with the javelin again. 98% shot. Is this going to be safely on? Yep, and ooh, not too far off actually. Going straight into the hole there. Bit of a longer putt. Ooh, I'm nearly off to the left-hand side. Just got an eagle there. So hole 5. This one can be tricky to gauge. We're going with the Maniacs over the top. And is it going to go long? It's going to be a long putt here for BrownTown, who is adorned with the stars and stripes. Ooh, and missed over to the left. So that was a difficult putt there, and has given up that one-shot advantage now if BWommy can make this. So almost the identical shot as another Maniacs, actually probably slightly further away. So let's see if BWommy can hole this. It's a tricky left 4 as well. And also missed basically identical shots both sides of the hole. So one was left, one was right. So heads up there even, but oh, this was a badly miscalculated shot from BrownTown there, straight into the water. That was very unfortunate. And is BWommy going to do the same thing? No, safely on. And that should just be a fairly easy tap in there. That was very unfortunate from BrownTown. I guess the wind just taking it a bit further than expected. And this is a tricky little shot as well, just to get back onto the green. And has it gone too far? I think he's gone way too far there, which is very unfortunate. He's given up this lead now with the one-shot advantage. And he's gone over it to the right-hand side again. So this is going to be a double bogey. Now I'm going to have to be careful and make sure I keep track of these scores. I'm playing up down the fairway. Both players choosing slightly different shots. BrownTown going over the hills with the Maniacs. Personally find that shot easier than the one that BWommy has gone for. But both should get onto this green fairly safely. Not a bad shot there from BWommy, just in front of the hole. Should be sinking this for eagle. And he does. And now let's see what BrownTown can do. So javelin again. I'm going to try and get very close. Not too bad on the length, just too far over to the right there. But again, an easy tap in. And on to hole 8. Now, hole 8 is probably one of the earliest, most difficult shots. And actually,
splash,
we've clipped the side of the hill, which is exactly what I did on my game that's already been played. And BrownTown ended up in the rough, just on front in the front of the green. It's quite a difficult one to gauge this. BWommy going for the chip in, but slightly misses, and has sank it for par, so not too bad. Good recovery there. Let's see what BrownTown can do, and he has got that chip in, so he's still managed to get eagle from that unfortunate first shot. And now we're going into hole 9. Both opting to go straight down the fairway with the Maniacs. Not a whole lot that you can do with this first shot, really. Just trying to lay up for hopefully a hole out attempt on the second shot. Javelin here from BrownTown. And this is going to be fairly close. No, just didn't quite reach it. Probably looked a bit closer than it was actually on the approach, but an easy tap in nevertheless. And BrownTown has ended the front 9 on -10, but with the one-shot advantage, that's -11. And BWommy, the distance was great with the javelin, but just over to the right hand side, and birdie again. BWommy on -11 and BrownTown on -10, but as I said, BrownTown has a one-shot advantage, I believe, so they're both on -11 now, going into the back 9, which is where things can get very interesting on Juniper Falls. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about Golden Tee Mobile, the league. If you're new to Golden Tee Mobile or just want a bit more of competition than the normal weekly tournaments in the game, I strongly suggest that anyone watching this that isn't part of Golden Tee Mobile, the league, goes and checks it out. It's the best way to get better by far. Bunch of great guys playing there. And also the best thing about it is you're playing against players at your own level, which is fantastic. So that's gtmtheleague.com. Hole 10 here. That was BrownTown just with the javelin. And should be another eagle. Safely on. Eagle attempt and down. And BWommy with the sniper. So a slightly different shot here. Going for a 92%. And that's not going to be far enough to get any GSPs, but safely on. Although this is a right 5, so it can be a tricky putt, but handled that very gracefully. So hole 11, this plays really far down. So you do have to be very careful on this approach. Javelin again, and this might be too far. This is kind of what I'm talking about. No, it's going to roll down the hill. Very easy to accidentally go straight over. And if you do bounce over that kind of ridge, you just go straight into the water. Again, another approach. It's kind of interesting seeing the players choose slightly different shots with different balls. The sniper there, just to set things up. Generally, I go with the sniper because I'm a bit of a pussy when it comes to these types of holes, so I kind of go with the safe shot. Hole 12. Another interesting hole that can go really well or really wrong. This might dip down into the sand, and it has done. So BrownTown is in the sand. And let's see what BWommy can do now. It's a good attempt to get into the lead. And that has been played safely with the sniper. And that should go down for an eagle, which at least will put BWommy at least one up. BrownTown safely onto the green now, but is going to go down for a birdie. Hole 13. I think most players just play on this little sort of area of grass just in front of this water. Quite a difficult hole to gauge what to do sometimes. If the wind is kind, you can sometimes get over the far water, which I find makes it a lot easier on the second shot. But I'm by no means an expert on this hole. So Maniac's over the hill. And this is going to play really far to the right-hand side onto the rough there. So it's going to be a chipping attempt from BrownTown on the next shot. BWommy going for the same sort of shot. This could also end up in the same sort of area. I think this is going to hit the green just. So this might be a ranger putt. So chipping here from BrownTown. And, oh, that actually looked really good, but it was a left 5, so it's gone far to the left-hand side. Played for birdie, though, safely into the hole. Now this is a ranger putt. And quite a long one. It should go down. It is a left 3. Yeah, managed that eagle there. Now I've kind of completely lost track of the score here, but I think BWommy is up too. or in front by 2. So still on hole 14. BrownTown makes a pretty good tee shot, actually. Not too far away from getting the hole in one there. A nice little put in for birdie, hopefully. And that should, I think, give BrownTown -6 and BWommy is on -8. And because after the first 9, I think BrownTown was on -10 and BWommy was on -11. Because of that one-shot advantage, basically this back 9 is heads up. So BWommy is 2 shots in lead, I believe. Although my maths definitely isn't reliable. So we will check that at the end. BWommy now trying a tricky sniper. Quite high winds. The winds get very high on Juniper back 9. It's handled that very well. Actually, the distance was pretty good. Just over to the left. And an easy put there for birdie. So maintaining that 2-shot lead, assuming that BrownTown plays this well and also puts this pretty good javelin there. And yeah, that's gone down for birdie. So -7, -9, I believe now. Maniac's off the tee, up the slope, up the hill. Not a whole lot that you can do with this first shot, really. Because the second shot's so difficult. Torpedo, rare torpedo in this game. Trying to get as far up there as possible. Now, 16 miles per hour wind, so this is going to have to be played very, very long. I think I actually ended up in the water. And this is a brilliant shot. Ooh, not too far away. If only he'd played a grabber or something like that, that might have actually gone in. But a nice eagle. Really, BWommy just needs to play the next few holes as safe as possible. Obviously, they have no idea where the other player is at this point, other than what the result of the front 9 was. And, that was almost a brilliant shot. And that, in itself, is kind of the beauty of Golden T-Mobile. And he's gone off again on the other side. Is that just going to stop? I think it's just stopped on the hill. This is a bit of a disaster by BrownTown. Hopefully you can get this chip in. Not far away. This game is a matter of percentages. 1 or 2 more %, and that could have been a hole out. Really, really unfortunate. Hole 17 can also be a really tricky hole. It's best, in my opinion, just to play as safe as possible, especially with something like a 16 mile per hour wind. The green itself, though, is pretty difficult. Left 10, but got close enough that it's just a matter of course for the birdie there. More or less the same type of shot from BrownTown. And played higher up, so that nasty left 10 isn't going to come into play here, so this should just be down for birdie. Now BrownTown pretty much, I think, needs this to go down in 1. It's not actually going to be too far off. Maybe it was in the end. It looked like it was going to get a lot closer than that, but it's actually ended up with quite a tough putt back up the green. Sank that for eagle, and he ends on -9. And then, unless BWommy now has an absolute disaster of a hole, he should be going to win that, and he's actually got a lot closer to the pin. So it looks like BWommy is going to sink this for a -14 back 9, which is pretty darn good. BrownTown has lost to BWommy. Congratulations to BWommy. I feel like that was a closer game than maybe the scorecard actually suggests. I think BrownTown got some pretty unlucky shots. So BWommy, I think, going very near the top of the leaderboard in the DICKWAD tournament. So again, congratulations to him. Yeah, minus 25 to minus 19. Good game there. And that's been me today. So thank you for listening in to the week 5 of the DICKWAD tournament. It's a great collective of players, mainly from the bronze, purple, and Noonan divisions of Golden Team Mobile, the league. And again, I would really strongly recommend everybody to go and check that out. Until next time, I've been Will, and have a good day.
Yeah, later, dickwad.